Good morning everyone. Welcome to e-learning module. I, Lavanya, BCA student of Management, Education and Research Institute under Personality Development Skills. Today, I want to talk about a fascinating yet controversial subject, genetic engineering. This field has the power to eliminate diseases, increase food production and even modify human traits. However, it also raises serious ethical concerns. Where do we draw the line between scientific progress and ethical responsibilities? Let us understand what is genetic engineering. Genetic engineering refers to the direct manipulation of an organism's DNA using biotechnology. It is widely used in medicines, agriculture, and research. For an example, genetically modified crops are resistant to pests and diseases, while genes therapy can potentially cure inherited disorders. However, with the great powers comes great responsibilities, and genetic engineering presents several ethical dilemmas. Let us look on the ethical dilemmas in genetic engineering. First, designer's babies playing with human traits. One of the biggest ethical dilemmas in the concept of designer's babies. Using genetic in tools like CRISPR, scientific can modify embryos to remove genetic disorders. However, this raises the question, should we allow genetic modifications for non-medical reasons, like selecting eyes colors, heights, or intelligence? In India, where social preferences for specific traits exist, this technology leads to increased social inequalities and discrimination. If only the wealthy can afford genetic modifications, it creates a genetic divide between rich and the poor. Second is cloning and question of identity. Cloning, another aspect of genetic engineering, involves creating an identical copy of organism, while therapeutic cloning can help in medical treatments. Reproductive cloning, creating a human clone, raising deep ethical and regional concerns. A case that gained international attention was the cloning of Dolly the sheep in 1996. In humans were cloned who would have parent rights. Would clones have the same legal and moral status as natural-born humans? Such questions remain unanswered, making cloning one of the most ethical debate issue in genetics. Third is genetic modification in agriculture, boons or bane. Genetically modified GM crops have revolutionized agriculture, increasing yield and making plants resistant to pests. In India, GM cotton, BT cotton was introduced in 2002 and now accounts for 90% of cotton production. However, GM crops has faced strong opposition to the concern over their impacts on biodiversity and farm dependency on multinational seeds company. For an example, the controversy surrounding GM mustard in India highlights the ethical dilemmas. While scientists argue that it can boost production and can reduce oil imports, activities fears it may harm native plant species and leads to monopolization by large corporations. Before proceeding, let's have a look on a controversial case study, the gene editing controversy in India. In 2018, India's scientific community debate on the use of CRISPR technology to eliminate hereditary diseases like skeletal cell anemia, while in India, Indian government supports genetic research for medical purposes. Concern over an unethical application persists. A study by the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research (CSII) found that over 50% of Indians served were concerned about the ethical implications of human gene editing. Religious and cultural benefits also plays a role in shaping public opinions. Now focus on the statistic on genetic engineering in India. First, genetic modified crops. India is the world's fifth largest cultivator of GM crops with over 1.6 million hectares over GM cotton. Second is public opinion. A survey by Pew Research Center found that 67% of Indian oppose human genetic modification for non-medical purposes. Third is biotechnological industries growth. The Indian biotechnology sector is expected to research $150 billion by 2025, with the genetic research playing a key role. Now, conclude that the need for ethical guidelines. Genetic engineering is a double-edged sword. While it offers groundbreaking medical and agricultural benefits, it also possesses serious ethical and social risks. India, like the rest of the world, must strike a balance between innovation and ethics. Strict regulation, ethical reviews board, and inclusive public debates are necessary to ensure that genetic advancement benefits humanity without compromising moral values. The future of genetic engineering lies in responsible and ethical research that serves all of the humanity, not just a privileged few. Thank you and happy learning.